14 against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills lost last week up in Toronto because of Terrell Revis and the Jets shutting them down completely. But we're going to talk about this week, the Chiefs. Okay, top story. The Bills are 13-7 overall against the Chiefs. At Arrowhead, though, they're 4-6 against them. They won the last one, and so what do we think about this?
I mean, I think you have to look at the recent history. That's what has my hope going for me. When I'm looking at this game overall, I see it as a trap game. One of those games where we're supposed to win, but we're probably not going to because that's just the way it is. But when I look at the recent history, when I look at the fact that we beat them 54-31 last year, and even the game before that where Kelly Holcomb was hurt and J.P. Losman came in and won us the game, 14-3 I believe that score was. If you look at those two games, we pretty much dominated the Chiefs, and that was at a time where Larry Johnson was good. So a lot of times team history comes into play. So I'd have to say that looking at the recent history of the Bills and Chiefs, I think we have the upper hand.
All right. Okay. What do you think about the recent history?
I'm kind of with you. I'm hoping, like you said, it's a trap game. I'm hoping we can win. They have.
Wait, it's a trap game then?
Well, a trap game that we'd lose. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're hoping for a win, but when it's something like this, you usually give the home team the advantage. So that's why I'm kind of thinking, the Bills may lose because our record there isn't good. We blow them out. They've only won one game here in Buffalo, but when we go there, we lose. So it's one of those iffy situations where yes, we're supposed to win because they've only won 3 games this year. Yeah, we've only won 4, but we're supposed to win this game.
Okay, now it's time to talk about the Bills' offense. We think they need to run more. They didn't run a lot last game against the Jets. I think they only had like 60 yards a game before that. Yeah. All right, what do you think about that?
Well, I think the reason we have to run more so is because you got to look at the defense that we're actually playing. They got young guys in the front line like Tyson Jackson and Glenn Dorsey, 2 first-round draft picks in the past couple of years that really haven't panned out that much. So if as we know, we don't have the greatest line in the world. That's pretty much a big understatement there. So we need to take advantage of the mismatch with the line. I know I kind of said that last week, but this is an even bigger mismatch. The only thing I'm a little worried about is the fact that our offense has to go against the 3-4. We usually don't do that well against the 3-4.
Except for Miami.
And that's what I'm saying, except for Miami. We somehow did pretty good against them. So that gives me a little bit of hope that we should be good against the Chiefs in that case. But it's kind of a toss-up. You know what I mean? And the linebackers, I don't want to say they're deep, but they do have Mike Vrabel. And he is an experienced linebacker. Apparently, though, according to...
Against the Bills, too.
Against the Bills, yeah. Maybe they'll throw him out on the fullback thing and score touchdowns against us. Who knows? But... that's all I got.
Okay. Recently, obviously the Chiefs, they don't have a really recognizable secondary. T.O. and Lee Evans are obviously 2 top receivers in the NFL. What do you think they're going to do against them?
They should pretty much have a field day against them if we throw T.O. the ball. They gave up 250 receiving yards last week against Denver. So if Denver can do it, yes, they have a pretty decent, receiving core, but we got T.O. and Lee Evans. And there's no reason why, between the 2 of them, they can't get 250 yards on them also.
I agree with that completely. All right. Stopping Matt Cassel. I don't know if that's a really big thing. You put that up there. What do you think?
Oh, okay. So I'm getting the credit for this one. Okay. No, you really got to look at last year. We played Cassel twice. And what did he do? You guys remember?
He beat us.
He beat us.
Wait, he was on the Patriots.
Yeah, okay, he was on the Patriots, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of the plays last year he made on his own. Do you remember all those scrambling yards he ran? I remember it was the last game of the season and...
It's the Patriots.
It was 4th and... Yeah.
It's the Patriots.
Okay, it's the Patriots, but Sean, he's the one that's running the ball. No one else is doing that. All the scrambling yards against us, so... But I agree with you, though, in a sense. We need to stop Cassel, but I think the fact the rest of the 10 players on the team will probably help us do that.
Okay, what do you think about Jamal Charles?
Well, again, he's a backup basically coming in for Larry Johnson. That'd be like us starting Xavier Oman. Not to discredit Xavier Oman, but if he was the starter right now, probably not the best situation. So I don't think they have much of a running game.
Okay, one of our featured. Oh, okay. What do you mean by Jamal Charles?
I'm with you. He's a no-name, pretty much like the rest of their team. And even before, the only person they really had on their team was Antonio Gonzalez. So that was really like the only person you really worried about. Yes, you're worried about Larry Johnson, but now that he's there, now that they're both gone, Matt Cassel's by himself. He's not, he's not doing anything. He's not completing passes. He may be running a little bit, but you still need a passing game too. So I don't know if we necessarily have to stop Matt Cassel. I don't think I think our secondary is pretty good. That even if he's throwing the ball, maybe Jarrisburg can get a couple of interceptions and break the tie and lead the league in interceptions.
He's got 8, so yeah.
I'm just saying, I think we got to be careful about Cassel.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
You guys might be surprised in this one. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So, like I was saying before, our featured thing this week is will we lose the team? And obviously, I was talking about this before with Nakia and Jared. The royalty tax, I think, ends in a year or two, and that means that Ralph can sell the team and not have a huge tax on his family. So, what do we think? What do you think?
I don't think he'll sell the team. I think he loves the area. I think he loves Buffalo. I honestly think as long as he's alive, then we'll still have the Bills here. The only thing with that comes into play too is also with the salary cap is that same year there's no bottom. So if we need, we can pretty much pay players anything. We don't have to pay them the league minimum. We already don't spend a ton of money anyway on players. So, we don't have to pay them $300,000. We'll pay them $150,000. So, I mean, for us, it's going to be an all-around, crazy situation. We're never going to be the Dallas Cowboys paying a player $50 million. That's never, ever going to happen. So, it's like I said, as long as Ralph's here alive, I think the team is still going to be here. But as far as getting players and all that, it's going to be real hard for us because we're not going to be able to afford them.
Okay, and now it's time for Justin's Trivia Corner. Alright, now it's time for the keys to the game. My key to the game is throwing to Lee Evans and T.O. They have a no-name secondary, basically. We need to get those 2 receivers with a lot of yards. I think if we do that, we'll win the game. What's yours?
I think we need to get our running game back on track. It was really great in the beginning of the season with Fred Jackson, and I think we need to get that back on.
All right, what's yours? Stopping
Matt Cassel. Wow. He's dangerous.
All right, now it's time for the picks of the game. My pick of the game is 28-17 Bills. What's yours?
My pick is 31-14 Bills.
Oh, I picked close to me, wow. Okay, what's yours?
Unlike the last game, it's going to be a dog match. 14-10 Bills.
All right, that's interesting. All right, thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week for the New England Patriots.
I'll be in New England.
You're going?